Lawyers and politics go together like a horse and carriage. So says the old song, or at least it said something like that. But should lawyers be sharing their political views on their social media platforms? Is that a good idea? Is that a bad idea? And I guess we're going to talk about it from a marketing perspective in particular, less so from a personal perspective. My name is Chris Hargraves. I'm from digitalmarketingforlawyers.com, and this is Digital Marketing Mastery. We're talking about sharing your political views, your personal political views, so not just lobbing random sort of third-person objective comments out there, but expressing your personal political views on platforms. Is that a good idea or a bad idea? It's interesting, when I asked this on social media, the prevailing answer from most people was no, you ought not do that. The risks are too high that you will alienate someone who might otherwise be prepared to use you as their lawyer. And by and large, the responses were focused on the risk side of things. But from a pure marketing perspective, I just want to offer an alternative view. There certainly are risks, and the risks are that if you express a strong but unpopular political view, you will either lose clients or be less successful getting clients. That's a risk. That's a risk if you express a view of any kind. That's a risk if you swear. That's a risk if you don't drink beer or play sport. That's a risk really across the board. So politics, though, is a bit more of a hot button than some of those other topics have a tendency to be. So I want to talk, though, about the potential for the powerful connection element. Okay, because when it comes to marketing, as I've mentioned before, you have to be prepared to some extent to alienate people who are less likely to be excellent clients for you in order to better attract people who will be more excellent clients for you. And if we consider that from the political aspect, even if you might be prepared to work for anyone across the political spectrum, irrespective of their view, consider the idea that if you shared a political view, would that in fact draw you closer and make maybe a smaller group of people more likely to use you? So rather than trying to be a friend to everyone, even though you're probably friendly to everyone, but rather than trying to be the everyman or the everywoman, I serve large, medium and small businesses and individuals who are part of businesses and businesses who have individuals, and governments and small governments and big governments, and I work in all the areas of the law, that sort of thing. Rather than trying to be that, what if you were more sharply focused in your attention about the people you're actually trying to attract? What if there were a core group of, say, conservatives or liberals or whatever, we're talking politics, so those are the obvious examples, that if you were more vocal in your views, which aligned with their views, that would create a greater degree of connection. There is a real opportunity in that, I think, and certainly there is a risk. And there's a risk if you're an employee of a firm and the firm may or may not share your views and you go around sharing things vocally. But consider whether there is a potential upside to it as well. Because while you're pushing these people away, you're drawing these other people in closer. And that has the real potential for power in terms of finding your tribe, finding the people with whom both your values are aligned, your ideologies potentially are more aligned, and ultimately they might be a better source of referrals and a better source of clients for you if you were to sharpen your focus and your attention on them. Now, we can expand this beyond politics, of course. We can take this into any other areas, but I thought I'd just talk about politics as one example. So what do you think, having considered it from that alternative perspective? Yes, there is risk. I think we all get that. But is there a potential upside, and is that potential upside maybe going to outweigh the risk? I'm not in any way saying you should immediately go and write a manifesto or something and put it on the internets, but what you should do is consider in all of your marketing decisions, yes, there might be risk, but do the benefits potentially outweigh the risks, and make wise decisions about where you go from there. That is all I had to say. That is all I have to do for now, so I will see you next time. If you need to reach out, if you have any questions, you can comment on this post, of course, or you can find me at digitalmarketingforlawyers.com.